Welcome to Wrong Time Watch. My name is Kevin, and in this video, we're comparing the Seiko Samurai to the Seiko Monster. In this case, the Samurai is the SRPC93, and this Monster is the SRPE27. They are both special editions, although special for different reasons. This is the Paddy edition. And this one here is a Save the Ocean edition with the Blue Whale Blue Wave dial. The Samurai has a 4R35 movement versus the 4R36 movement in the Monster. The handsets are very similar on these two. Not quite exactly the same, but they do look very similar. The indices are also somewhat similar as well. They both have a mixture of brushed and polished surfaces. Both have these abbreviated lugs with drilled lug holes. The Monster has, of course, a little bit of a protection here for the bezel. That's kind of the thing with the Monsters. All of the generations have this shape. I have an earlier version of the Monster as well. I think that's the SRPE315. So I'll do a video on that in the future. Today we're just looking at these two compared to each other in case you wanted to make a purchase decision on the Monster or Samurai. This one's a little bit more unique. It has the blackened bezel and the blackened crown. Normally there's stainless along matching the case. This case is all brushed with a little bit of polish. There's some polish between the lugs there, and also polish between the lugs here at the 9 o'clock position on the case. This has more of a knurled bezel. And this one has scallops, just a few scallops here, but both of them are very easy to grip. No issues turning this bezel here. This is an all-metal bezel without a bezel insert. And this one does have an aluminum bezel insert. But again, very easy to turn. 120 click bezels. The Samurai does, of course, have date only. But both of these movements are automatic movements. Hand winding, hacking, 6 beats per second, and 41-hour power reserve. These both have Harlex crystal. This Monster does have a day and date magnifier. Move the minute hand out of the way. As you can see, 4 o'clock crown on the Monster versus 3 o'clock crown on the 3 o'clock crown on the Samurai, not a clown. This is kind of clown colored, I guess, though. Let's move. Okay, I went the wrong way, but there we go. Move the handset out of the way. There we go. Screw down crown. Both of these are rated to 200 meter water resistance, and they both follow the ISO certifications. So you know that these are actually 200 meter rated watches. So Paddy on the dial here, which I prefer over this PS cross logo for prospects, or prospects, however you want to say it. So let me know which of these two you would buy if you had to choose one. My preference is to the Monster. It's a little bit smaller. I just don't like the angled shape of this case, but that's my preference. So let's go over the lug to lug measurements. On the Samurai, we're looking at 48.2. On the Monster, it's actually slightly longer at 49. And then these both have that fixed center link due to the way the bracelet's designed. This one here, we're looking at the Monster. We are looking at 53.5 versus 53 on the Samurai. The Samurai is a larger watch at 44 diameter versus 42.5 for the Monster. Thickness on the Monster, I measured it at 14. Samurai, I measured that at 13. So slightly taller. The lug width on the Samurai, 22. 20 on the Monster, but then the bracelet here is wider than the lug width. The bracelet is 23, so it goes 20, 23, and then it tapers back down to 20 again. So it just kind of blossoms out right here to meet the case shape, which I do like the way that looks. This one is 22, and then it tapers down to 19, if I remember correctly. But it's still a very, it's just a very wide bracelet. They both have 7mm crowns. Let's zoom in on each of these dials so you can appreciate this dial. This is one of my favorite Seiko dials. It's a gradient transition from this beautiful blue down to a black color. Samurai does have lume at the 3 o'clock position, though. The dial is wide enough to allow for that. It's not wide enough on the Monster for that. This is a nice color blue bezel as well. I like how the chapter ring or the minute track is scalloped out for the indices. It's unique. You don't see that very often. And there's a date magnifier. Also, the numbers are nice and large on the bezel. So let me get both of these on wrist, and then we'll close it out with a lume shot. Let me know in the comments which one of these two you would choose. Also, if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe. And like the video. It helps out a lot. I have not spent much time with either of these on wrist yet, as you can tell by the fact I haven't sized the bracelets yet. I have a 6.5-inch wrist with a 52mm wristband. So here is the Monster. Then we'll switch over to the Samurai, and then we'll try them both again, zoomed out. So I think the Samurai is a tad bit too big for me. I believe you can buy from Long Island Watch, you can buy the hex ad bracelet for his version of the Samurai, and I think that also fits on this Samurai as well. But his Samurai, the bezel is a little bit smaller. It's the size of the SKX bezel, so you can swap out the bezel inserts and other modifications if you want to do that to the Long Island version of the Samurai. But I like the Seiko version better. All right, let's zoom out here. Get the other one on wrist. Back to the Monster, I mean, and then we'll check out the lume. Seiko Monster. All right, let's take a look at the lume. All right, so I guess this isn't totally a fair lume comparison or accurate, because the Patty Monster has a different lume scheme. The hour hand and the rest of the indices are more of a blue color lume versus the minute hand with the more typical green lume. But anyway, this is what I have, so this is what we're comparing. On the left, the SRPC93 Seiko Samurai. The middle, we have the Actually, I messed that up. Yeah, SRPC93 on the left. Then the middle one, the Samurai, is the middle one is the Monster, SRPE27. And on the right, we have my SKX009. So again, on the left, SRPC93, middle SRPE27, and the very far right is the SKX009. With all that said, as far as the lume brightness, I would have to give it to the Monster being slightly brighter than the Samurai. But really, they both have very good lume, better lume than the SKX009, which of course has good lume as well. So as always, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video. I'll let this run for a little bit longer